Have you ever come across the term hedged ETF or unhedged ETF and you don't know exactly what it means? So let's talk about the difference between hedged versus unhedged ETF. Think of it like riding motorbike with or without helmet. For hedge funds, it means that you're riding motorbike with a helmet. So when you invest in a hedge fund, it means that you're protected from the currency exchange fluctuation. That's why the return of the investment is based purely on the investment's performance. It is not exposed to the currency exchange rate or fluctuation. This type of investment is usually preferred by the people who have lower risk and do not want anything to do with the currency fluctuation. And on the other hand, we have unhedged fund, for example, VFV. It is like riding motorbike without a helmet. That's why the return that you get on an unhedged fund is actually the combination of both the return of the investment plus the currency fluctuations. And for that reason, unhedged fund is generally more risky than hedged fund. Now let me give you an example. VFV is an unhedged ETF that tracks the S&P 500, while we have VS is an hedged ETF that also tracks the S&P 500. So if the Canadian dollars to US dollar exchange is 1-to-1, then both VFV and VSP will deliver the same result. However, if the Canadian dollars falls by 2% compared to the US dollars, annual return of the S&P 500 is 10%, then the total return that you'll get if you invest in the VFV is 12% compared with the 10% that you will get when you invest in VSP. Now, to decide whether hedged or unhedged ETFs is better for you, you need to know your risk tolerance or whether you want exposure to currency fluctuation as well.